Hey guys, another episode of Colorwind News here for you. This one's going to be a little off the cuff because it's going to be about the Nintendo Direct presentation, and there was a lot on there, so this is going to be a long one. Let's not waste any more time and get to it. First off, we had Pikmin 3 gameplay shown off, and we got a release date of July 21st, 2023. They showed off some of the capabilities of one of the new Pikmin, which is an Ice Pikmin, which can freeze enemies, and they also showed off like this creature that kind of like acted like a dog that can be used to take down barriers and transport Pikmin across water and help in battles, and looks pretty good. I like Pikmin. Not a huge fan of it though. I kind of still think that the series peaked around 1 and 2 on the GameCube, but I still liked 3, and I thought Hey Pikmin was sort of an interesting idea, although I never ended up playing it. But I'll always take some more Pikmin, so that was good. Pikmin, by the way, I think I may have said Pikmin 3. I meant Pikmin 4, because 3 is already out on the Wii U, and I think remastered on the Switch. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is getting a expansion pass update. Rogue Battles is going to be coming on February 15th of this year. And then there's going to be a 4th wave of expansion content coming soon. They didn't give a release date for the 4th wave. Just the 3rd one's coming in about a week. Summer de Amigo Party Central is coming summer of 2023. That's another entry in the series. Looks like fun. You're shaking your Joy-Cons around. So, should be a good time, as long as you don't break them. Fashion Dreamer looks like a game where you design clothes, and that is a game somehow. I don't know. That comes out later this year. Dead Cells Return to Castlevania comes March 6th, and it's basically a Castlevania-themed area within Dead Cells. Highly inspired, it looks like, by Symphony of the Night. So, that's fine. I'm not into roguelites, and I don't enjoy Dead Cells, but I know a lot of people do, so this should be fun for you. Tron Identity is coming in April to Switch. That's from Bitho Games. He's the guy who made Thomas is Alone, and he's also on the Play, Watch, Listen podcast, which is quite good. You should check that out. Ghost Trick Phantom Detective comes out in the summer. It looks like a detective game where you use your ghost abilities to solve crimes. Deca Police later this year. It looked anime as hell when I was seeing it. I didn't even know what I was looking at. I was like, what the hell is this? A little vignette on Bayonetta Origins, Cereza and the Lost Demon, that comes out March 17th. Showed a little bit of gameplay where you control Bayonetta or Cereza as a child, while the demon, who is called Cheshire, which if you've played the games, that says a lot, does all the combat for you, and you're mostly left for doing puzzle platforming and stuff like that. Looks good. It was originally announced back on the Game Awards, but we saw a little bit more of it here. Looks fine. Until we get our hands on it, I think we can't really make a strong assumption about that game. Splatoon 3 is getting a couple more expansions. Inkopolis is coming in spring 2023. It's basically just the opening area of Splatoon 1 being put into Splatoon 3, which, great. And then the second one that they didn't have a lot to say about is called Side Order. So that will be coming out, I guess, at some other time. But you got at least 2 expansions to look forward to. Disney's Illusion Island, which is the co-op platformer with Mickey, Donald, Goofy, and Minnie. That comes out July 28th. That looks interesting. Fire Emblem Engage is getting an expansion as well. New emblems and new waves with new characters are in there. I didn't notice all of the characters in there, but I did notice that Chrome and Robin were going to be included in there, which are previous characters and protagonists from the previous Fire Emblem games. So that's cool. Wave 2 is out now, and there will be other waves later on. Harmony, The Fall of Reverie is June 2023. That's I don't really know what kind of game it is. I see the gameplay and everything. It makes me think maybe an RPG, maybe an adventure game. I'm not entirely sure, to be perfectly honest with you. But we at least now have a release month. Octopath Traveler, a brand new demo is out now. The game comes out in a couple of weeks, so that's nice. And also, side note, the demo is also out on other platforms. So, like for example, I'm about to try it out on my PlayStation 5 pretty soon. We Love Katamari Reroll plus Royal Reverie, excuse me, comes out June 2nd. It's a remaster of the second Katamari game with some extra content thrown on there, which is why it's plus Royal Reverie. Sea of Stars, August 29th, and there's a demo for it now. Looks like an old school RPG, which is cool. Omega Strikers, April 27th, and that's a free-to-play game. You can actually pre-order it now, although I don't know why you would. It's a free-to-play game, but I mean, do what you want. Etrian Odyssey Origins Collection. This is actually pretty cool. It comes out June 1st, and it's a collection of the first 3 Etrian Odyssey games, which were on the Nintendo 3DS. And they were dungeon crawler games where you had to draw the dungeon as you went along so you remember where you can go. Now, they did that with the touchscreen on the 3DS, so I imagine they'll let you do that on the Switch as well since it has a touchscreen. But I remember playing this game. I rented it from GameFly, and it's pretty fun. It's enjoyable. It is kind of niche, so you have to be a certain audience to really like it, and it has very much an anime aesthetic to it. But it's something you should check out. I think it's really cool. And it's nice to see that these games were not forgotten and they're now being put together in a collection. I also heard that this collection is also going to be available on PC, which is really cool. Although I wonder how the drawing mechanics with the map and everything are going to be done in that version. Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp. This game has finally been mentioned again by Nintendo after they delayed it for forever for, well, reasons. Real world reasons. It's now coming out April 21st. Happy to see it. Love the Advance Wars series. Before Fire Emblem came out, that was the series I used to like to play. Although my favorite, it will always be the first one that I played, which was Shining Force. With Final Fantasy Tactics very close behind it. Kirby Return to Dreamland Deluxe. They showed off some new content that the game's going to have. Specifically, the character Magalore is going to have essentially his own campaign where you earn back his abilities. That comes out February 24th, so in about a couple of weeks. Game Boy games are coming to the Switch. Specifically, starting things off, we have Tetris, Super Mario Land 2, Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX, Gargoyle's Quest, Game & Watch Gallery 3, Alone in the Dark, The New Nightmare, Metroid 2, and Wario Land 3. Oh, and Kirby's Dream Land. There's actually 9, excuse me. 2 players can play local or online. And there's filters that make the game look like it was running on a Game Boy Pocket, or a Game Boy Color. In addition to Game Boy games, Game Boy Advance games are also coming. They also have local and online multiplayer up to 4 players. And the lineup for that right now is Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario Bros. 3, which is kind of cheating, but okay. WarioWare Inc., Colorwind, which is the spinning bar game, which I don't even remember it coming out in America, but I've heard about it since then. It's supposed to be really good. Mario Kart Super Circuit, Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga, Legend of Zelda Minish Cap. And that's it. One thing that actually I just remembered, I did not make a note of this. The Game Boy games are part of Nintendo Switch Online, and the Game Boy Advance games are part of Nintendo Switch Online Expansion Pass. So you need to pay a little bit more if you want to get the Advance games, which, I mean, they charge extra for Genesis games for some reason. The whole pricing structure of that whole system is strange to me. I don't really care for it, but what else is new? It's Nintendo. They do things that I don't like all the time. The lineup to me is decent. There's some core titles, I think, in there. There's a couple of weird ones like Kuen and the Gargoyle's Quest version. Alone in the Dark, the New Nightmare. That's a weird one, but yeah, it's solid for for what it is. Metroid Prime Remastered, it's out now. Although if you want the physical version, it comes out February 22nd. Master Detective Archives Raincode. We saw this game before, and they showed a little bit more of it this time as well. That comes out June 30th. Biden Kaito's 1 and 2 HD Remasters, Summer 2023. I just want to say this real quick because I don't know when I'll ever get another chance to say this. I remember in the early 2000s when there were just an abundance of card games, and a lot of them were terrible. This game came out then, and I didn't care for it at all, and as a matter of fact, the reception for it was pretty bad as well. However, since then, I know that this game has gotten sort of like a cult following in America, at least here in America, because it did pretty well in Japan, I believe. And now that's pretty much why we're getting this HD collection here. It's exclusive to the Switch as far as I can tell. I'm not touching this thing with a 10-foot pole. You'd have to pay me to do it because card games are one of the very few genre of games that I will literally not touch at all. But hey, if this does it for you, I'm happy for you. You got something that you really shouldn't have. But hey, it's fine. It's not like Monolith is doing anything other than making Xenoblade games anyway, so that's fine. Fantasy Life, The Girl Who Steals Time, yeah, that's correct, comes out later this year. I believe that's kind of like a life simulator / RPG type of deal. Professor Layton and the New World of Steam. A new Professor Layton game has been announced, but it was just a quick teaser. Nothing was really shown about it at all. A little bit about the new Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Pack. The Wave 4 was shown, specifically showing off the course for Yoshi's Island. And that Birdo will be a playable character as well. And that comes spring of 2023. Then we got a quick montage and we showed off Minecraft Legends, which comes out April 18th. Blanc, which is an indie game that comes out February 14th, so in about a week. Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection coming out April 14th. We already knew about that. Have a Nice Death, another indie game coming out March 22nd. It looks kind of cool, kind of like an action beat 'em up, hack and slash kind of deal. WBSC Baseball Power Pros is out now, so if you want to play some jank-ass baseball game, you can. And Disney's Dreamland Valley, it has a new realm coming to it on April of 2023. And then the last thing they showed off in the montage was Tales of Symphonia Remastered, which comes out on the 17th. I'm hyped to kind of try that out. But I don't know how great it's going to be because it's only going to be in 30 frames, even though the original GameCube game was in 60. And finally, they showed off Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. We just got a quick trailer. No real information whatsoever. It comes out May 12th, which, again, we already knew. And just a quick addendum, because it wasn't in the presentation, but we did learn later on that the game is going to be $70 instead of $60, which is traditional for Nintendo. And it's going to be 18 plus gigabytes. It seems like maybe that's the reason why it's $70, because they're going to have to make a cart that can hold more data, as I believe this goes over the cap of the cards, their standard cards. Overall, I think the presentation was solid. I will admit that there wasn't really a whole lot here for me. As someone who really likes the Game Boy Advance lineup of games, I was kind of disappointed with here. And the only thing of note here is Superstar Saga and Minish Cap. Super Circuit, I've never been crazy about. As a matter of fact, I think that's like the worst Mario Kart game. And I feel like Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario Bros. 3 is cheating because that's an NES game at the end of the day. But, you know, it was fine. Metroid Prime Remastered is cool. I know a lot of people have been wanting to see that. It's here. It has the modern controls that people want. I'm happy about that. I think it's overpriced at $40 though. I didn't mention that earlier. Yeah. But you know, wait for a sale, right? Then it'll be fine. That's how you fix that. Um, I have Metroid Prime on the GameCube. I have it also on as part of the trilogy, which I could also play on my Wii U, which means it gets rezzed up, so it looks better. It's not the remaster that this is, but it's close enough, at least for me. Um, Everything else, there was there was sort of a variety. We saw a lot of games here that we've been seeing like for the past year or so, maybe like half a year from other Nintendo Directs. And at this point, it's kind of like just get off the pot and release them already. But I think it was good. I know a lot of people are excited by Metroid Prime. Just the way that it was released and the price and everything makes me not as excited. But as a result of that, everything else here is either to me cool, not enough information for me to get excited about, or I'm indifferent to it. So personally, I was like, whatever on this presentation, but I understand that it's a variety and just glut of games because it's just game after game after game after game in about 40 minutes. Makes it still a pretty solid Nintendo Direct. Probably give it like a B. And that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching. Peace and love, gamers and players. And if you like these big-sized Colorwind news episodes, let me know. Normally, I can only put them up on YouTube because there's a 10-minute limit on TikTok, and the other platforms have their own limits that I'm unaware of. So let me know in the comments what you think about the Nintendo Direct. Were you excited about it? What's your favorite game from the presentation? Are you already playing Metroid Prime Remastered? Let me know in the comments, and until next time, peace and love, gamers and players. Colorwind out.